Let's go. Next one's Air Force One Fallen Angel. Now, the last time we saw anything about this was the fact that the Air Force One Angel, stole the Air Force One plane, the private plane of the president. Now, it seems like potentially he either which battle. So first of all, we'll go in order here. So the President Rockefeller sold a bunch of crowns, which are people who've had their head cut off by Giza glass, and so they now have floating heads. He sold all those floating heads as slaves by turning them into war machines and sold them to the Germans, which use their floating heads to create Zeppelin war machines, and those were turned back around on the U.S. citizens. In order to stop these things, a bunch of soldiers had to fire a ginormous death laser that exists inside the Great Pyramid. And seemingly, this Great Pyramid, the laser, is powered by the special trees. Because they mention that the pyramids are full of metaphysical flora. So potentially that laser is powered by the trees. Maybe the aliens from Mars or whatever. Maybe they use maybe they were able to harness that power. But whatever. And there's a lot of these pyramids. Way more than just the 3. The Air Force One Angel was created when all the people that fired these lasers during the war, they all were deatomized, torn down to their basic energy molecules, all broken down as far as you could break it down, while still being a being made of energy. They were so unstable that the only way they were able to stabilize is by fusing literally every single soldier that was firing these death lasers fused together into one being. After it was revealed that Rockefeller, basically started the war and gave them all the weapons and stuff, assumedly the Air Force One Angel wanted revenge for the war, and it went after Rockefeller, melted the door in its bunker, and nobody knows what the frick he did with Rockefeller. Maybe he vaporized him, maybe he kidnapped him, maybe he absorbed him and all his memories, and that's why it was able to break into Air Force One and do all the stuff it did. But we don't know what its motives are. We just know that it visited every major landmark, every major monument that has a monster or creature or something going on. Okay, so this, basically, after it finished its tour around the US, it made its way back, where it was shot down by the US. Simulation of strike, property of Maze. After various stops across the United States, Air Force One flew into the restricted airspace of Washington, D.C. After an extensive evaluation, the United States Air Force took action. The thing is, we don't know what it did at these monuments. We don't know if it went there in vengeance to but what we do know is that it went to Alcatraz. Seemingly something happened, and Alcatraz woke up and started rampaging, wiping out all of California, all of Texas, started wiping out the West. So now, from that map we saw where the US is all messed up and we saw the tunnels and stuff, the reason why those borders were no longer there is because most of that is flooded now. The entire West Coast has been flooded. So the Air Force One Angel, maybe it was trying to like stop it, or potentially, it's like turning all of the monument monsters against the U.S. I'm still watching, but my model's gonna go blank-faced. Damn! But that's some Call of Duty stuff. Mission accomplished. But as you can see, so this right, damn near all of this gets wiped out. It's the freaking like 3 districts. What the hell? Look at this. I was gonna say it's the 3 districts from district the Hunger Games, but they don't have like 12. They have like 12 of them. The United States of America, legally known as the United Zones of America. The Alcatraz Zone. Okay, and so this is basically where the Alcatraz Island monster went on a rampage. So that's kind of interesting that they freaking renamed it. Hold on. I'm out of Pepsi. I need a freaking diet Pepsi. It's interesting that they named it the Alcatraz Zone, because that's where that's about the extent of where the Alcatraz monster or like island went on a rampage. I'm assuming the top part is gonna be the Rushmore zone for the Mount Rushmore forest, the fungal infection, the special tree forests. Yep, called it Rushmore zone. And I'm assuming the final one's gonna be either the Serpent Zone for the Statue of Liberty, or the Liberty Zone for like the serpent that lives inside of the Statue of Liberty. Oh, the Washington Zone. Okay. Alright, okay. For the Washington Monument. The 3 zone capitals. Yeah, see, very close to the Statue of Liberty, very close to the Alcatraz Island and Mount Rushmore, of course. Awaste, Kahasapa, and Nakachak. Ex Tribus Anu. That's some Latin, bro. Am I speaking in tongues right now? What happened? Out of 3, 1. Is it like a Cerberus type of deal? Okay, is that Mars? Al Gore's America is a shell. For the true ruler beneath our feet. It is time for the underground god to leave. He does not belong here. Was that a freaking crater? What is that? But the world egg cannot hatch without force. We must fracture the zones ourselves. We must split the earth open. Hold up now. Hold up now. You're saying the earth is a freaking egg and it's like some kind of creature in there? Or are they talking about the caverns, the caves, under the earth? Because there's an entire secret cave system, Project Serpent, Project Horde Serpent. Hold up, wait, so the one true god, is that what the serpent is? The one living underneath the Statue of Liberty? Is the Statue of Liberty like the exit and entrance of the underground cave? And that serpent, the creature that lives in the Statue of Liberty, is it living down there? Is that what they're talking about? Is that the god that they're talking about? Once it leaves, there will be peace, and a state for each and every person. No more zones. For the cracks will be the true borders. 1,000 states of America, 1,000 states of peace. You are no longer the Ants Device Association. We are the advocates for the division of America. How will we divide the land? With our fallen angel, of course. Who would have thought that he would land on the tomb of the unknown soldier? We found him before anyone else. Burnt and broken from the blast. So the fallen angel, wait, so the Air Force One angel fell to the ground, fell to the earth. Burnt and broken from the blast. After we fix him, he will be a walking atom bomb. They're talking about the Air Force One angel. He will evict the Horned Serpent. The same way he evicted the traitor. Okay! So the Horned Serpent is the thing living underneath the Statue of Liberty. So since the underground cave and the maze network of headquarters is called Project Horned Serpent, that means that the secret, quote unquote, the secret ruler of the United States of America is the Horned Serpent, which we all know, like, because we know the Horned Serpent, like asked for the, the pedestal to be built, right? And they were feeding immigrants to the Horned Serpent in order to keep it fed, which supposedly this is still going on to this day. The Horned Serpent is still eating people that are sacrificed. Now, that means that that must mean that the Air Force One angel learned about the true identity about the Horned Serpent. Maybe even the Horned Serpent was involved with Rockefeller's dealings. The Air Force One angel annihilates President Rockefeller. They don't want the same thing to happen to the next president that they put in power, right? So they create, oh my goodness, so they create a freaking cognito hazard president, James Dean. And they basically put him at the very front of, like, for the people to see. So if they decide to attack or destroy anyone, they go after James Dean. Meanwhile, potentially, I think Richard Nixon is actually the in-between between James Dean and the Horned Serpent. And that's why they keep mentioning the fact that every time there's a major event, James Dean returns to go hang out with Richard Nixon, racing sports cars. The way he evicted the traitor, President Rockefeller, from reality. Oh, so he did deatomize him. He deatomized Rockefeller. My question now stands is, did he absorb him into the fold, basically, you know, gaining all of his memories, or did he just like interrogate him and then vaporize him? But check it out. So they want to crack the earth open. Advocates for the division of America. It's like a snake egg. They want to crack open the United States and release the Horned Serpent to be destroyed by the Air Force One angel. But since they shot down the Air Force One angel on the plane, he's injured, and they have to fix him before they can actually go on a counterattack. This is getting way too good. This needs to be a freaking movie, dude. Damn. But like a good horror movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? The unification of 1980 was short-lived as state borders were restored by the end of the decade. However, due to the extent of the unification of 2003, state borders are not expected to be restored within the century. It's interesting that 2003 happens to be the year where they had a lot of people go missing at the Washington Monument, including Everett. Which is the son of Louisa, which is one of the children that disappeared during the Rockefeller incident. The ADA, the Anti-Dean Association, refuses to recognize the three zones and their capitals. So the ADA is planning on using the Air Force One Angel in order to fight back against the United States government. Specifically to fight back against the Horned Serpent, who seemingly is sort of like the entity behind the biggest scenes. So I was wondering who the secret government here is, but it seems like it's the Horned Serpent specifically, living underneath the United States of America. They call it the Horned Serpent, but we didn't get to see much of it. We saw it had like, it looked like a serpent. I don't remember, did it have horns? How big is this freaking serpent, bro? It literally lives in a cave system the size of the United States of America, which is freaking ginormous. I love this one so much. Such a good one. No, I like this one a lot because it's kind of setting up the players on the board. Both the Anti-Device Association and the Splinter Group, advocates for the division of America. It's interesting because the Anti-Device Association, or the ADA, and the Advocates for the Division of America, these are all just splinter organizations that are all part of ADA, the Anti-Dean Association. They are criminal organizations. If you encounter members of either group, please report them to your local authorities. The 2003 World Egg transmission was produced digitally by ADA and converted to an analog signal for broadcasting. UZA maps are updated yearly to reflect the expanding nature of the three zones. Keep up with the latest developments on Twitter. No, this one's amazing. I'm loving the little hints and pieces that we're getting, while also expanding the lore overall, like by a lot. It's not just a simple like answer. It's actually like it's a complicated answer that gives us a lot more info than what we like. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like not more info that we need, but more info that makes the world bigger. You get what I'm saying? I love it. Absolutely phenomenal. Please go drop a like, go drop a sub, all that good stuff. Monodachis, I dropped the link on Discord. Ayo, Monodachis! Thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also find links to the videos that we reacted to today down in the description below, along with my Oshi marks. I'll see you in the next video, Monos. Goodbye, and thank you so much for swinging by. Sadu!